Ever since I've acquired this baby, I've got so many questions about where this is from, my journal supplies, and how I journal in general. So I thought let's make an in-depth video and talk about everything. So to begin, let me just show you my stack of journals. That was my Kindle, by the way. Poor baby. Let's just keep you here. So this is my stack of all my previous journals. I've got rid of some of my journals, but this is what we are working with. Let's start with this one. This is a pocket journal that I got for free when I got a bag from Height Sign, and so I started keeping it, and this changed everything. Like, it fits anywhere, and every time I'm out and about, I just keep it with me, and it's so easy to write something important so I don't miss out on that, or just some random burst of idea for content or for anything in general. You can just put everything down in here, and it's just so fun to have a track of everything, because I don't really like typing that much. Because one thing about me is I will never use those abbreviations. I would always type the full word, and I think it's easier for me to think and write than to think and type. That's just something with me. And then we have these journals. So these three are from Papercool, which if you are from India and if you're looking for good journals, I think Papercool is perfect because their journals are durable and they're not that expensive at the same time. So this is my journal from last year. This is my journal from 2023. And then we have the two journals that I have already exhausted this year. So this is the journal I started this year with, and then this is another journal that I have now finished. So this year I have been writing a lot. I am a yapper, but I don't know. I've been writing a lot lately. So this one is from Papercool as well. This one is from Luctrum. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's the company. And one thing about these journals is some pens, they bleed, like the inks, they bleed. Not the Muji ones, but like the other ones that I use, that I will of course show you in this video. The ink, they bleed on paper, which was a bit frustrating, but I got used to it. One thing I love about this journal is they are numbered. So I mean, I use my journals for everything. I use them as scrapbooks. I use them to write down my thoughts. And that's why I think getting a journal where I can do everything but have a different spot for them was so important for me. But yeah, would I recommend these journals? Yes, if you're traveling abroad, you should get them because they're not as expensive outside of India. But if you live in India and you don't want to spend so much on a journal, you should try Papercool. They are so good. But let's come to the fun bit, which, yes, I have this journal, but I also have a planner, another journal, and another pocket notebook, because that one I have exhausted it, so I needed a new one. So this is the current pocket journal and the other two journals on top of this one. So let's start with this. So this is from Paper Republic. This is their portfolio. It's in the color olive green, and I have had this for 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks. I think I got this on July 26th, I guess. It's August 10th. So I have had this for a while. Not that long, but I have had this. And one thing about me is I am not nice with my stuff. I just put them everywhere and I don't care about if they're getting damaged, because I think part of getting a notebook or a journal is that they are going to get damaged, and that's okay. And so I have been really rough on this journal, and I think that's why it has gathered so many marks. But I think I love that. It just gives it more, what's the word, character. Yeah, that's the word. And then we have two charms on my journal. I have ordered 3 more charms, so yeah, I'll be changing this one and I'll be adding 2 more in here. But this one, it's a bee. Another thing about me is I am terrified of butterflies, but I'm not terrified of dragonflies or bees or other insects or beetles. So yeah, I love all the other insects except for butterflies. I'm terrified of butterflies, but beetles or dragonflies or bumblebees, wasps, I love them. So yeah, I just wanted this because I find them so intriguing. I think they are my lucky charm. And when you look at the back, you see Paper Republic embossed on the back cover. And I also got this embossed. I was thinking about whether I want my name on it or not, and then I settled with my initials. um, I actually was thinking to not have anything at all, and then I thought, if I like this journal, I can always order another one, which I think if I do plan on ordering it, I will do that by December. And I'll also order their 2026 daily planner because that is tempting. Let's start with this one. So it's a portfolio, so it has pockets. The other journal, the Voyager, it doesn't come with pockets. So I have utilized the pockets, as you can see. And when you open it, you see a pen. And let's also talk about the pen and then get into the journal. So some of my favorite pens, wait. So I only have two favorite pens. This one is from Moji. This is their gel ink pen Focus, please. This one is from Moji. This is zero 0.5. I also have a 0.7 mm gel pen, and I love Muji so much. The ink, it doesn't bleed. No matter the paper quality, it's not going to bleed, and that's why I like it for annotating. But I've also started writing from this pen, and it's so smooth, it glides, and it's perfect. But it also is quite expensive. So I also have this one, which is quite affordable, if I'm not wrong. This one is Pentonic GRT, and it's in 0.7 mm, if I'm not wrong. I only have one more left, so I should order this. And then I have Muji, like I showed you. And then the third one that I really love is the Zebra Sarasa clip pen. I really like those click gel pens. That's why I am so skeptical about Muji, because it's not clickable. I do think they have clickable gel pens, so I am going to look into that. But yeah, I love a good click gel pen. I hate those other sort of pen. What are they called? I don't even recall. Ball pen. Yeah, ballpoint pen. But everything is a ballpoint pen. Anyway, so yeah, that's the stationery. These are the two pens that I absolutely love. You can see them everywhere, and that's a proof that I love them. Then we have some page tabs because I like tabbing my journals at the same time. And over here we have a few. So currently I've been obsessed with astronomy and space and all that, and that's why I've been collecting these stickers. Then we have my post-its because again I like using post-its with my journal at the same time. So we have my post-its, then more stickers and some bookmarks because you never know. And I've been trying to be nice with the books. I don't really use the back pockets, but I'll show what I keep in there. My first journal in here is my writing journal, which I have been gatekeeping that for a while, but I have been thinking about writing a book and I want to take that very seriously. And I have written a few chapters. I've been working on that for like a month now, and every now and then some idea would spark in here and I need to just put it down somewhere, so when I'm actually writing I can go back to it and see and just see if I can do something with it. So this book in here, it consists of the plot and the characters, which I can't show you, but it consists of the basic plot and what I want to do with it, and my main character and all the other characters that I am working on right now, and some books that I think I should read in order to make my book even perfect. So yeah, I have been working on little something, and that's in here. So that is my writing journal, which I use to write ideas down in. So every time I think something is going to fit perfectly with my story, I write it down here. Every time I'm reading a book and I think someone has really done a great job with the dialogues or any particular quote that strike me, it goes in here. So when I'm writing my own thing, I can just go back to that and get inspired. So yeah, that's the first journal. Then we have the second journal, which is my books and film review journal. I just finished my other book and film review. This is very new right now. I have only written one, two, three reviews in here so far. I don't really review all the books I read online. I only review the books that I absolutely enjoyed online. So yeah, this one is just for me. And if I have not enjoyed a book, it makes it over here. If I've enjoyed a book, it makes it in this book. Also the movies, they go in here. So yeah, that's the first book. And sorry, that's the second one. And then we come to the third one. The third one is my commonplace journal. I don't really know if I'm going to use it. That's why it's so thin. So the idea behind commonplace is to put down every single information that you have learned into a book. And every time you need to revisit that idea, you go back to your book. So everything from astronomy to hormones, everything goes in this journal. So currently, like I said, I've been obsessed with a few things. Space is one of them. I have been writing about space, of course. I have been writing down about where I can submit my own writing, just like a few magazine and other news related spaces. And then I have a brief history of films, like the films you shoot videos on, about that. And then the last one is Anxiety 101, which is basically just for me, where I have written down my triggers and how I can work on that, and things that made me feel better when I had that particular anxiety flare up. So that sums up the first three journals. And then I have my writing journal, like not my writing journal, but my thought journal, where I journal every single day. So this is where I do everything. That's why it's so chaotic. It's basically my brain vomit. And this is my most used journal right now because I use this every single day, sometimes twice a day. And yeah, I just like it so much. And now that I have 4 different spaces for everything I used to do in one journal, I think this is going to fill really slowly. I haven't made it through page 10 in most of them. So I just know this is gonna last me throughout this year for sure. And I won't need another journal at least this year. And then we come to the back pocket. Since I promised I'll show you my back pocket. Again, obsessed with astronomy and moon right now, but this is something I always keep with me. These are some envelopes, and I mean, when I say I always keep them with me, I don't mean these two. I like making envelopes, so I keep the ones I have made myself because I love going outside to cafes and all these places, and sometimes I would like to write myself a little something when I'm out and about. And no one is writing letters for me, okay? So that's why I write letters for me and then put them inside these envelopes and just hide them somewhere. So when I'm cleaning or when I'm flipping through those specific books, I find these and they are basically letters to me, for me, from me. So yeah, that's something I do. And I have been doing that for 4 or 5 years now. Ever since COVID started, I have been writing letters for myself. And initially, I used to do that in books, like in particular books. So, you know how you get those last few empty pages? I used to write over there. And then I thought, I shouldn't do that. I should just write it in a piece of paper and then put it in books. So, anywhere, maybe in my drawer or maybe somewhere that I don't look every single day or I don't clean every single day, but I do that sometimes. So sometimes I just find these letters and I'll be like, she's obsessed with me, she loves me, as she should. So yeah, that's just something I do, and I think you can do that as well if you like. So that concludes this chunky journal, and I have got so many questions about that. Why is she so thick? Where is she from? And I hope I answered most of your questions. Let's move on to the next journal. So the next journal is not a journal, it's more of a planner. This one is from On Giraffe. This one is customized as well. Um, yeah, this is just a regular journal that I have used. You can't really see the used portion. Yeah, I have used it, and I am a planner girly. I like planning stuff, I like doing things. I won't recommend getting this one. I think you can find better journals, like better planners, and in cheaper prices. This one is not really worth it because of course you're going to spend an entire year with that. Good, but again, it's just a planner. You shouldn't waste too much money on that. And if you want to, you can always waste that on expensive shit like this journal instead. So yeah, will I recommend this journal? No. Why? I also have a why for that. So I like to be specific with, wait, let me open something. So this is how the spread looks, okay? And I personally like to be very specific with what I write, and so I need to write down every single thing I'm doing. That's just what I do in order to feel productive, even on days when I'm not, because it gets to me, the feeling that I haven't done anything today. So I put everything in here. Did my workout, did my headstand, walked 10,000 steps, and everything needs to be here because everything is my to do. And since it's so tiny, my to do can never fit in that. And I've recently started using these post-its so I can actually just elaborate that task even more because I cannot work otherwise. And then we have my content journal. This is where I write every single idea in. So every single reel, every single YouTube video, every single Substack post, the initial idea, it goes in here. So every single post, the beginning, it happens here. All of my Substack posts, they go in here. This is the Substack post I've been working on for a while now. I have been working on this for like a month, and I don't know if I should post it because it's not really what I do, but I would love to talk about this as well. So maybe I should. Every YouTube video, it goes in here as well. Every Instagram post, it goes in here as well. It just makes it easy. So like when I say I have a YouTube video idea in here, I'm not saying I have everything written down. It's the basic framework that you're writing down. So when you actually sit down to shoot something, you know what you have to do. So you have to write down a framework for that, and this helps. And lastly, like I showed you, I have another pocket journal that I use for everything. So recently I was reading this book called Audition by Kriti, and I was reading it outdoors. I was at work, I think, and I was reading it and I was making notes because I wanted to review that and I did not want to forget anything. So I was just jotting down my thoughts on that. And after that, we had a work meeting, and so I have my work notes in here. And then I had another talk with my manager, and then we have more work notes in here. And then I was talking about something with my best friend, and I have things in here. And then I was watching Wednesday, the season 2, and randomly I started thinking about some things because we have season 2 in 2 parts, and I started writing about that in here. So that's my pocket journal. A thought vomit here. And these are all the journals I use right now. This is my journal ecosystem, if I can call it that. And yeah, what else can I talk about? I think that's all. I've covered everything. But in case I've missed anything, you can just drop a comment if you have any questions. And in case I think I've missed something really important, I can always make another video. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a great time. And we also have August prompts on my Substack. So if you would like to get into journaling and you need some prompts to just motivate yourself, I will link that down in the description so you can just go and check those out as well. And yeah, have a great day.